Are you struggling to generate consistent leads? There are so many different tactics for generating new leads. And today I'm going to share some commonly overlooked ways to generate leads that are low-hanging fruit for so many businesses. Hi, I am Tim Fitzpatrick with Rialto Marketing, where we believe you must remove your revenue roadblocks to accelerate growth, and marketing shouldn't be difficult. Thank you so much for taking the time to tune in. I am super excited to dig into this with you today. Look, here's the deal. Consistent, repeatable lead generation is the lifeblood of every successful business, right? If we don't have leads coming in that are turning into new clients, we can have the best product or service in the world, and it doesn't matter because we're not going to be doing enough business to stay in business. So lead gen is obviously super, super important. I'm going to share 10 different ways that you can generate new leads today. Okay. So here's the first one. I call this lead generation fuel. Okay. With what we do, we focus strictly on marketing strategy, planning, and leadership, right? You've got to have all three of those in alignment to build a consistent marketing engine. So I would be remiss if I didn't start talking about lead generation by first making sure that you've got the fuel. Okay, the way I look at it is the vehicles, right? The tactics for lead generation need fuel. If they don't have fuel, they're not going to work well, right? Or not at all. So we've got to have fuel behind it. And so what do I mean by lead generation fuel? What I mean by lead generation fuel is we need to understand our target market and our ideal clients within that market. Everything with marketing starts there. From there, we can then craft a message that's going to attract and engage those ideal clients. Okay. And then the last thing, which I think is super important, is we need to know where to go to get in front of those people. I call it an ideal client GPS, right? It's your list of all the places you can go to get in front of the ideal clients that you want to work with. Okay, so that's what I think of when I think of lead generation fuel. Okay. So we've got to have that first and foremost. Number two is a shock and awe package. I interviewed somebody on my podcast a while back about a shock and awe package. So he was using his shock and awe package to send out, and this is a physical package he would send out to potential clients that they were about to meet with. So, a shock and awe package is not necessarily going to generate new leads for you. What it is going to do is it's going to help set you apart once you've generated a lead. And I think it can help push people over the edge, right? Are you a good fit? It just sets the tone for what it's going to be like to work with you. And this shock and awe package, it can have all kinds of stuff in it, but it's a physical package meant to impress and differentiate you from your competition. There could be free gifts in there. There can be testimonials, case studies, more information about what it's like to work with you and how you work, right? So it's informational. It gives people an idea of why they should be working with you. But then there are also things that, who doesn't like to receive gifts, right? So shock and awe package can be a great way to set the tone with what it's going to be like to work with you with people that have expressed an interest in working with you. Number three, cross-sell and upsell existing clients, right? It is much cheaper and much more effective to do more business with those people that are already working with you. They're already predisposed to working with you. So what else? Are there other things that you can sell to your existing clients that's going to help them even more? Right? You answer that question and then consistently contact and reach out to existing clients to sell them something complimentary or a higher level of service. Cross sell, upsell existing clients is overlooked a lot. Because what a lot of people do is look at generating new leads, which is great. It's great to generate new leads, but let's let's squeeze as much water out of the sponge uh, with our existing clients first and foremost. Number four, speaking for leads. Okay, speaking especially in B2B professional services, whether you're a coach, consultant, managed service provider, IT consultant, um, anybody selling their expertise and knowledge as part of their service, speaking for leads can work incredibly well. It is a great way to add value to people, educate them, and establish authority and credibility, and build trust all at the same time. So, speaking for leads in front of the right audience, right in front of your ideal clients, is a fantastic way to generate leads. Closely related to this is guest podcasting. You don't have to have a podcast to speak on podcasts, right? Get on somebody else's podcast as a guest. It is no different than speaking for leads in person, except you're just coming on somebody's podcast, and it is evergreen content. As long as that podcast exists, your episode is out there and it's helping you get in front of somebody else's audience. The key here is to make sure that the audience for that podcast is relevant for you. Are your ideal clients part of the audience for that podcast? If so, it could be a great podcast to get on. So do not overlook guest podcasting. Number 6, trigger events. Okay. Trigger events are those things that happen, a trigger with your ideal clients that set in motion their need or desire to solve the problem you can solve, or meet the need that you can help them with. What happens to trigger that action? If you can identify that trigger and get in front of people that are triggered, right? You're at an opportune time. You're meeting people that have a very specific need or a problem that you can solve, right? So news about prospects, you can look for news about prospects that mean they may be in need of your service. So, for example, if for us as marketers, somebody that's looking to hire a marketing coordinator or a marketing manager can be a trigger event that they may be in need of our help. Okay, that's an example of a trigger event. Number 7, what did you stop doing that used to work, right? It is so easy to forget about the things we used to do that were working well, but hey, we got distracted. We started focusing on something else and we let what was working fall by the wayside. This is very low-hanging fruit for a lot of businesses. So ask yourself, hey, is there something we used to do that we stopped doing? For example, speaking for leads. Maybe before the pandemic, you were speaking for leads. The pandemic hit, couldn't do that. So you stopped doing it, and then it just dropped off your radar. Well, maybe it's time to start doing that again. So ask yourself, what did you stop doing that used to work? Great opportunity to put that back into play and start generating leads from that again. Now, closely related to that is number 8, which is fill in the gaps. And when I talk about filling in the gaps, what we're doing here is we're looking at what's already working. What's working for you that's generating leads? Because odds are you have not fully optimized that particular process or system. An example I use all the time is referrals. Many of you are generating a huge portion of your leads from referrals, and there's nothing wrong with that. But when I ask people how they're doing that, the most common answer is, well, it just happens. We do great work and people refer us. Well, what would happen if you actually put a system in place? Maybe put in a referral program that you could promote. What if you identified the common points in a client's experience with you where it makes a lot of sense to ask for a referral? Shortly after onboarding, maybe they're super stoked. You've gotten a quick win or a quick result for them. Maybe you have quarterly meetings with clients to review where things are at, right? You've got a great meeting, you're getting great results. Awesome time to ask for a referral. We just want to identify those times and then make sure that we have a system to ensure that we actually ask for referrals throughout those times. So that's an example of filling in the gap. Okay, fill the gaps. Number 9, reach out to past clients, people that you're no longer working with. Maybe you did a project for them, you successfully completed it, and they moved on. But hey, things change, right? Our businesses are dynamic. Things are changing all the time. Why not reach out to past clients every so often, every 6 months, every 12 months, just to check in? Hey, I was thinking about you. How are things going? Right? And just get back on their radar, because who knows, maybe there's something that you can help them with that they haven't really even thought about at this point. So great way to do that. Now, closely related to that is reach back out to old leads that didn't close, because again, things change. Maybe you thought they chose to work with somebody else and they didn't do anything, right? Or maybe they chose to work with someone else and the wheels came off and it was a complete and utter disaster. Reaching back out to old clients. Hey, are you still in need of, X, Y, and Z? Just a quick question, following up with them, right? Super easy. Most people do not take the time to do these things, but they are a great way to get back in front of people and generate new leads. Now, I said I was going to give you 10 of these. I've actually got an 11th. So a little bit of a bonus here for you. I hope you don't mind. But number 11 is make an offer, right? Send out an offer to your email list or reach out to people making an offer for something, for your service, right? And think about your service, right, is what you do. Your offer is what you wrap around it to make it enticing for people to buy. So what offer can you make today, right? Oh, and by the way, this could be an offer for an upsell or cross-sell to an existing client, which I already touched on, right? But that's an example of making an offer. We should be making offers on a consistent and regular basis to our audience. So make an offer, right? What you're doing there is being more proactive, reaching out to people, making an offer to see if anybody bites, see if that resonates with anybody, if that can help anybody based on where they're at right now. So make an offer. We need to be making offers consistently every week, every day, right? Every several days. So make an offer. So I hope you found those helpful. Maybe even if you just found one of those helpful, take that, run with it, and take some action on it and see if that doesn't help you start to generate more leads today. Hope you found this helpful. I appreciate you watching, listening, however you're consuming this content. If you want to connect with us, you can do that over at rialtomarketing.com. That's RIALTO marketing.com. The other thing we always have available is over at revenueroadblockscorecard.com. When we work with clients, we help them remove the 9 common revenue roadblocks that exist within marketing. One of those happens to be what I touched on today, which is lead generation. So if you want to know which of the 9 are slowing down your growth, you can do that in less than 5 minutes over at Revenue Roadblock Scorecard. Get your customized report there, totally free. Take advantage of it. Again, thank you for watching, listening. Until next time, take care.